In Privacy Watch, a new CBS News Radio investigation looks into a service that allows people to copy electronic keys. Since 2012, the company called KeyMe has offered traditional key copying services. Well, now it's expanding to include other types of keys.
CBS News spoke with security experts who are concerned the new services will put businesses at risk. CBS News Radio executive editor and correspondent Steve Dorsey conducted this investigation and joins us now from Washington to discuss. So, Steve, you copied a key using the KeyMe services. How does it work?
Yeah, I copied two keys. The first is just a traditional brass key. I've got it right here. The second is this electronic key fob, what you would use in your office building or, in this case, an apartment building here in Washington. And this worked like a charm. No one knew the difference. I was able to scan it at the door. It worked. It let me in. And that's why security experts are concerned, because no one's able to keep track of these clone keys. If the manager of an apartment building, the manager of an office building, a government facility, a college doesn't know these clone keys exist, how do you know who has them, where they are, and how they're being used? Because they look and act exactly like the original ones.
You know, it's funny, Steve, I attempted to use one of these machines to copy a regular key.
Never worked for me.
Well, my key was a little off regular, I guess, and so they were like, no problem. We'll send you the key. Just give us your address. And something about that struck me as, I mean, that was a security threat. So you're going to have my key and you're going to have my address in some database somewhere? You know, I had no idea that you could do these other things like the key fobs. And I think about our cards that we use to get into this building. How widespread is this service?
Okay, so they've got them in major cities across the country. These are kiosks that you go to, these KeyMe kiosks. And you simply visit them. Takes less than 3 minutes to get a key made. And in some of these kiosks, in places like New York and Manhattan, at Bed Bath & Beyond, at 7-Eleven, at Safeway out in San Francisco, in Middle America, at Louisville, you can get these RFID keys, as they're called. They're electronic radio frequency identification keys. They can be printed onto stickers instantaneously. You can pop one on the back of your cell phone. You can make a key to your vehicle. And you mentioned that brass key. They now have a feature that lets you take a picture of a brass key, upload it to the app, and they'll mail you that with the key cut based on that.
So what concerns are security experts raising about the service?
Yeah, a lot. First, as I told you, there's no accountability for these clone keys that apartment and community building managers don't know about. Offices don't know about. Who has them, who has access to them, who's sharing these keys, you don't know. Other issues, what about the legal liability? If someone uses a clone key, whether it's brass or whether it's electronic, who's responsible legally? Is it the person that made the key? Is it this KeyMe machine? Is it the security system installer in the building? Is it the owner of the building? This is untested, uncharted waters that we're in right here. And finally, these keys, we're talking about how easy they are to duplicate these electronic key fobs, but on the back of some of these keys, you'll see do not duplicate. If you go to a hardware store, sometimes they won't do that. But KeyMe machines, they don't care. They'll duplicate whatever key you give them.
So what's the company saying about this?
Okay, we've heard a lot from KeyMe since this story first aired yesterday on the radio and on TV and online. KeyMe says that it does its part to have accountability in the key-making process. They say it's very secure. When you visit these KeyMe machine kiosks, they take video of you, just like you're at an ATM. They log your credit card, financial transaction. They have a time and date stamp. However, critics of that say, hey, that's easy. Just put your finger over the camera, put a piece of tape over it, use a throwaway burner credit card, like something from Amex you would buy at a gift shop, and you're golden. So there's ways criminals believe they can get around this system and use it for suspicious purposes.
Yeah, if anything we've learned about this stuff, if there's a will, there is a way when it comes to people trying to take advantage of these like new electronic services.
Steve Dorsey with really interesting reporting. Thank you, Steve.
Hey, thank you.
You can read more of Steve's reporting on CBSNews.com.